Republika Srbija I Narodna Republika Kina.
The Republic of Serbia and the People's Republic of China are moving from strategic relations to which we managed to elevate our bilateral relations. We are transitioning to a community that talks about the shared future of our two countries. This is the highest level of cooperation between two countries, and I am proud that today, as the President of the Republic of Serbia, I could sign such a statement with President Xi.
Well, let's discuss this in more detail now with European politics expert Sergej Sumlenny, who joins us live from Berlin. Sergej, thank you for your time. Now, a warm welcome for President Xi to Serbia in stark contrast to EU-China tensions. What underpins these close ties between these two nations?
Well, thank you very much for having invited me tonight. Pleasure to be your guest. It is not a surprise from the Serbian leader that he tries to get as much as more support from all possible countries. He is a well-known good friend of Vladimir Putin's Russia, where he receives the most of his support. But he also flirts with the European Union, with Brussels, and never denied any financial transactions from the European Union, promising the EU like a sort of pro-European politics, which he, of course, never fulfilled his promises. Now his flirt with China is very understandable, as China has a strong interest in increasing its influence on the Balkans, and Chinese influence bring investments which are not always helping the local economies, but of course helping the local elites to fill their pockets. It's not a surprise that President Vučić flirting also with President Xi.
Next on this trip is Hungary. Can we expect a similarly warm welcome there for President Xi?
Absolutely, and you see the pattern, like visiting all European, Southern, Eastern European countries, which are more or less of authoritarian character. Serbia, Hungary, it is a very understandable route. China is trying to improve their relations with them, or not improve maybe, but increase the level of Chinese involvement there. And China understands very well that when Serbia is just a very local player, Hungary is a key to influencing the EU politics as a member of the EU and a NATO member. Hungary has a veto right in many issues, and gaining a direct access to the decisions by Viktor Orban will provide China with a lot of leverage within both the EU and NATO.
How significant, Sergej, was the timing of this trip by President Xi to Serbia? 25 years since NATO bombed the Chinese embassy there. Was that anniversary marked? How significant was the timing?
While the bombing of Chinese embassy back then was, of course, an important thing for the Chinese government, and the Chinese, they tend never to forget such things. But I don't think that this visit is the first visit of a Chinese leader to Europe since 5 years. I don't think that they have deliberately chosen that date as a reason. I think much more is the last tensions between the EU and China. And we have seen a lot of many European leaders visiting China recently. Germany's Chancellor Scholz, France President Macron, also the foreign ministers of the European countries like Annalena Baerbock from Germany. So, of course, there is, from the Chinese side, there is a very clear attempt to stabilize the relations to the EU and at least to guarantee more free room in its relations to Taiwan, which the Chinese government sees as own territory, and in the ongoing tensions with the United States. China also understands pretty well that the EU sees China as one of the tools to access to Vladimir Putin. And Chancellor Scholz has demonstrated very well that he sees that China's relations to Russia can be used by Germany to some how improve the situation in Ukraine. I personally don't believe that there will be something good from this attempt to influence Putin via baiting. But many in Europe believe so, and China will, of course, try to get as much as possible of profit from this European dream.
Sergej, we really appreciate your time. Sergej Sumlenny, live there from Berlin.